everybody. Hi. This is Ashley. Ashley Schmidt. I'm excited to be here. I think I'm a minute early. I wasn't sure. I scheduled a post for Go Live, and I wasn't sure how it worked. So I guess I started early. Anyway, I don't know how to actually see if there's anyone in the chat. I think there might be two people, or maybe it's just me. Anyway, I do have a few topics for today. I had two people ask me questions. Thank you for sending in questions on the forum. I will, once this goes, after I finish the Go Live, I'll drop the link in for the forum, where to put it on Google. You can ask me, definitely. Hi, PMG Digital Solutions. So once, it finishes, I'll drop that in so you can do the Google form. It's really awesome because I can look over here and see what questions I have. And I just was trying to be as effective as possible in answering questions. So the topics today, I had one question about ads, and I have kind of a plan. I even wrote this cool sheet out of stuff to say and kind of things I wanted to make sure I talked about. There's a whole lot to talk about with AMS advertising, but I kind of have I had some thoughts here that I wanted to share, and there's a lot more. Also, I had a question from Eula about I did like no books. Well, I had like 300 books, and then I ended up doing in October. I went added like almost another 1,000 books, and she wanted to kind of know how I did that. And so, it was a lot of that was getting over my own limitations and my own concerns. Okay, so AMS ads. The question from KDP Master was, do I do manual or auto? And the answer is both. And here's the reasoning behind that. AMS ads is an art and a science. And if you are not ready to embrace the science portion of advertising, then you should definitely stick directly. You can maybe dabble a little bit in manual ads, but stick to the automatic ads because it's going to be probably the most worth your time if you're not willing to put in some effort, some research, doing a little bit of analytics. And we're not talking complex math here. I just kind of have some guidelines I have for myself that I put in place based on my what I found. So AMS ads, manual or automatic, both. There's various reasons for this. The automatic, you've some great data that you can get after you run an automatic ad, but sometimes it just doesn't give you anything. And so you've got to also and manual ads are very powerful because you can be creative. And we'll talk about some interesting things you can do with manual ads here in just a second. So let's talk about ads in general. Okay, so ads in general, you have two things. You have to appeal to the buyer, right? And in appealing to the buyer, there's two things about that, right? You have to get them to buy the product. So first off, you've got to have a cover that is appealing, that they would actually want to purchase. So there's that kind of art about it. Creating an engaging cover that your audience for that particular niche is interested in. Now, the second part of that is getting the ad in front of the right person at the right time, right? You can have the most gorgeous cover, but if nobody sees it, or interior or anything, give them the greatest book, but if nobody sees it, or it's not what they're looking for at that particular time, then you're not going to get any sales. So it's kind of, you've got to mix those two. What I see a lot of people doing, and it's kind of on that mass scale where you do a whole bunch of covers and you say, I have 200 books live and nobody's bought anything. Well, that's part of that art thing. So if you have 200 books live, there could be a lot of reasons. But what I've noticed lately is a lot of people have been putting out things that aren't appealing to a buyer. I am a book lover. I love books. I love journals. I have so many notebooks that I collect just because I like the covers and I like the designs and patterns, and I collect things. I shouldn't. We move, and so I have to throw things away all the time. But like I said, we do move, and I think in our last move over 1,500 pounds in books. Yeah, that's a lot of books. So I love books. I've been trying to cull my stash down, and each move I get rid of a box or two, but I do love books. So you've got to know that art of the cover, you may think you're doing it right. You really may think you're doing it right. And even me with my love of books, I sometimes think I'm doing it right, but it's not. It isn't visually appealing, or it isn't visually appealing to that particular audience. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a specific example I have later. So you've got to really hone in before you do ads. You really want to hone in on working up your cover skills. And then, okay, so getting the ad in front of the right buyer at the right time. So that's kind of where the ads come in. That is where you want to be very focused in your advertising. And I do it a few ways. So let's say you have a cover. So I suggest if you have a cover that sells if you're new to this, if you have a cover that sells fairly consistently, or a book that sells fairly consistently, that might be a really good one to start running an automatic ad on. I definitely run ads on new books, but I'm very focused and very selective in that. And yet again, I'm going to talk a few case studies towards as I get there. But if you're new, try something that is a consistent seller. Even if it sells, 5 times a month, that at least you know that there is a demand, there's somebody actually willing to purchase it rather than just some random new book. All right, so now how do you use those ads? So there's 2 types of ads that we've talked about, manual and automatic. I use both. The science part about it is Amazon advertising, especially automatic ads. Okay, how they're kind of run is they pick up what's in your ad, what's in your description, what's in your keywords, title, subtitle, and they guess based upon that who they should show it to. And so I always bid pretty low. That does mean you'll get low impressions, but your margin for profit is pretty low on a book. I've been focusing lately on higher margin products, so $3 or a little over 3 is what I've been kind of focusing on lately. So I have a little bit more room, but journals, you're going to have quite a lot less. So you really want to bid low. That doesn't mean you'll get less impressions, but the thing about that is you want to see if it's going to work or not from that point of view. If, low will work, and low can work for some small niches, which is why manual ads are useful. So, okay, so you get your automatic ad going on a cover or a book that's been selling pretty well, and you can kind of see how it works. Now, think about Amazon as it's very particular about timing. So let's say you put the ad up and somebody sees that ad and wants your book right away. That's going to jump up in the rank a lot more, and you're going to rank for those keywords much higher in Amazon's algorithm. So there's kind of that time aspect. So let's say you have an ad, you have impressions, you just watch your impressions, and no sales, no clicks. And it's that impressions, clicks to sales, right? So it's that sales at the very end that is the most important to Amazon. If you can get somebody to click on it and then purchase it, that is validation in Amazon's eyes. And the sooner you do that, the more likely they are to rank you for those keywords. And obviously, the more often it happens. But let's say you're just unlucky and you put your ad out maybe too early. Maybe you're doing Valentine's Day and those ads just never take. Just close the ad if you notice that each day. That's kind of the science part. You've got to watch your impressions. So you watch your impressions, and if they are not going up, like you had a decent amount the first week, and if they're not going up, then just kill the ad, copy, and try it again. Sometimes you just have to. I've tried ads where I tried 3 or 4 times on automatic ads, and like the 4th time, it finally, like, the magic occurred. So people get really frustrated because they just try once and say, oh, it doesn't work. Well, this is that science part of it. You've just got to know that Amazon, sometimes luck does play. You get the right customer at the right time, just as you open your ad, and it's lucky. But it is opportunity, right? If you keep pushing and pushing, you're going to be out there more. Whereas if you don't, you just kind of assume or give up after the first shot, then, you didn't get that opportunity because you gave up too early. So I've had ones that do that. The other thing you got to watch about is advertising is they will do pretty good for a while, and then sometimes they'll just stop showing impressions. And you can try upping the ad budget. You can try a lot of things, but honestly, the best thing to do is usually kill it, copy it and try again. It is a little frustrating to watch your ads. That's why I've always kind of been a focused advertiser. I did this Christmas try and do mass automatic ads, and I don't think that was very successful for me. I did talk. I did do 5 specific ads, and we'll talk about. Sorry, I keep saying we'll talk about it later, but I really mean it. We're gonna actually. I have some things I actually want to go with manual ads. So you've got to watch that on your automatic ads. Watch your impressions. If you're not willing to kind of pay attention, and you don't have to check in for hours daily, but if you're not kind of willing to pay attention, then you can run some advertising ad or automatic ads. But yeah, it is like gambling. It's kind of like, I'm just going to throw some money at it and see if it works. And that's okay. And it works, especially if you cut off before they start spending too much. If you're not seeing the conversions you need, and conversions actually sales, right? Clicks, you need lots of clicks, but that just costs you money. You want that conversion, you want that sale. So you've got to watch that. And if you're not willing to kind of spend some time, do some automatic ads, have a cutoff limit, like, okay, it's 80 cents. I'm killing the ad because it's not working. But don't be afraid to try again. Maybe it was timing that didn't work for you. Like I said, maybe you started your Valentine's Day ads a little bit early. I just started mine yesterday, so we'll see. And I only did a few, but we'll see if any of those are going to take off. But if they're not doing anything in a few days here, I'm going to kill those automatic ads and try again. Either I'm going to try some specific ads, or hi, Teresa, how are you? I'm either going to try some specific ads or something else. Maybe some more automatic ads on those. Okay, so you've got to track your impressions. You've got to track, everyone wants to track clicks and conversion, which definitely, but people forget about impressions. I have a few ads that I spent, they're manual, and I've really tuned them in. I took some automatic ads, and then I made some manual ads, and I guessed on my manual ads and all the different things. And then I took the information from the automatic ads and added them to my manual ads. And these ads have been running for 2 years consistently. And my ACOS is about anywhere from 8 to 10% on these. I spent a lot of time honing these in, and I can't say that happens all the time. Some of my best manual ads just die. They just die. And that's how it is. You just got to kind of start over. Maybe copy that manual ad and add a few new keywords. Try another automatic ad, or try to search for some new things on manual ads. But I have had some ones, about 4 of them, they're consistently, they've just done well for the past 2 years, and I don't touch them. I just let them run. As long as I don't see any craziness, and they stay somewhere between 8 and I think I had up to 12% ACOS, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'm still making money. It's good for me. But I'm honestly changing up my ads all the time, because you have to do that to be able to keep up with Amazon's algorithm. They have programmers 24/7 programming their life away, and you expect to put a few ads on there and make $1 million. It's craziness. You've got to keep changing up, keep learning, keep doing. And that's that science part that nobody likes. They just kind of want to just hope it works. But really, the way you're going to make any money with advertising is to really be focused. So manual ads. You can do some really cool things with. This year, I'm going to make 2 products, or one's kind of a product series. Well, actually, I guess it's 2 series, but they're kind of a series of products. Yes, you have to keep an eye on your Amazon ads so you're not surprised with your big Amazon bill, right? I watch them all the time. But I have mine at really low bids. So I actually I have $20 a day, but I have such low bids that I rarely spend all that much. Was surprised the other day. I spent $5 on something. I was like, oh no, but it was $5, so it's not the end of the world. But yes, you do have to watch that. Okay, so manual ads. So I'm going to make some unique products this year that I'm specifically tailoring and designing with the idea in mind to launch them with ads. So I'm going to use a combination of automatic ads and manual ads. And I'm specifically designing these based on, I've looked, there's a niche, there's, high sellers, but they're I would say low to middle content. They're not low content. There's actually a decent amount of content, but not huge amounts of writing. But they are going to take me a week or 2 to make. The first one's going to take probably, yeah, a week or two. And then each one will take about that. And there's going to be 4 or 5. And I don't know, maybe it'll see. But there might be 10 or something in that particular series. But it's going to take me a decent amount of time to make these. These aren't like one and done. But I'm going to try to specifically focus on my advertising. So how do you uniquely advertise manual? How do you get all these keywords? Well, you can get them from the automatic ads. You can pull the ones that are successful. But here's some unique things. Target authors. Let's say you have a, I don't know, science fiction type looking cover. I have no idea. So look at popular science fiction authors and look and see who is really popular. Because on an ad, you can use brand names. There's no reason you can't use Nora Roberts for your flowery, fluffy thing if you think Nora Roberts fans would be into your planner, right? You can put anything on there because you're paying for an ad. You're paying to advertise on that. Now, if you pick really big names like Nora Roberts, it's very competitive. But if, let's say, you pick independently published popular science fiction authors and you look that, you can definitely do that. You can do specific products within your niche, like maybe a planner, not exactly like yours, but similar, something that type of person would be looking for. You can also do, one of the great places to look for stuff is in new hot releases within your area, your niche. So look at what's new and is hot, and you can pick author titles, you can pick book titles, maybe keywords. There's a lot of places in there to look. Common items. Now, this is one I've had a lot of success with because it's different, right? So I've had a lot of success looking for, so let's talk you have a outdoor journal, like a running log or a camping log, or I don't know, something like that. You have something like that. And so you could target, let's see, hiking boots. You could target, compasses or tents, or you can target a lot of different things and see what you would be amazed that people buy like a compass and a book. Like, you don't know. People buy kind of some of the strangest things. Other ways to look on these items. So look on these items you think that might work, and then look at the also bots. Those also bots, if you see, like, you can get ideas for books and new types of books you want to create, or there might be something that you see like, certain type of like book or something like a map or something is selling with this particular item. So maybe you can link your book to that. You can be really creative. Now, this does take a lot more time than automatic ads, which is why I do not do it for everything. I do it for things that I know are sellers, or I know things that have a lot of potential and profit margin just based upon experience. And yeah, you can't get experience until you just do it. Sorry. That's just how it goes. So let's see. I talked about also bots. Okay, so my specific case examples, right? So Christmas, like I said, I tried to, usually I do a lot of focused advertising, but this year I decided to do automatic advertising kind of en masse, and then pick 5 different items to market, to really put some effort and thought behind. I have to say my automatic ads, they did okay. Yes, you can put an ASIN on a competitor's ad, but usually I put names instead of an ASIN. I'll put an actual word, because people don't search by ASIN. People search by words. So that's why author names are good. So if it's like a particular author name, it'll associate, because that's kind of different. Maybe people don't search for it, but it'll come up with the book on the page. Not like in the search algorithm. Like, how there's the search page you can search, but then, the also bots or sponsored by in that row below on the actual product page of something, that is key. And it is not as expensive to get on that, also the product page sponsored ads. Those are cheaper ads. And I think they convert better. Honestly, if I can get on somebody's page versus the search results, I am a happier camper. Because if someone went to a page to buy something, they're serious about it, or at least more serious than just searching, right? So I like being on that also bot, kind of in the also bot area, sponsored ads on the product page. I think it just converts better for me. Okay, so my 5 things. So normally ads, Like I said, I do focus, but I decided this Christmas to do a lot of or automatic ads. I didn't think they did that okay. I did okay on a few, and I definitely made some money, but I don't know if it was worth my time or not. I'm kind of like, I don't think it was particularly worth my time. And it didn't, I'm sure the credit card bill won't make me happy, especially because the credit card bill comes 30 days and you get paid 60 days later. So I don't know. Maybe not. But my focused advertising was crazy this year. I was so happy with some of it. So I did 5 different ones. 2 of those 5, um, I made, let's see, about 1,500 on one of them and over 2,500 on the other. They just hit really well. And there were some reasons for that, and I'll talk about some of those reasons in just a sec. But the other one, so the third one, it did okay. It didn't do as well as I wanted. Like I made a few $100s, so I was really happy. But what I kind of did was I focused on making that one a seller for the next 6 months because it's kind of a timed thing. So I've gotten ranked for those sales, and this month I am doing really well. My January it's not Christmas, but it's not bad. I've right now over doubled last year's sales, and 2 of these books that I kind of focused on are really doing well. And that was kind of my plan, to kind of make the January blues not as blue. So it's working. And I did spend a decent amount of money to get them running. And like I said, I made several $100s over Christmas, but it's really paying off now and hopefully in the next few months as well. But it has been in January, so I'm really happy about that. So I did 2 of those. And then one, it went okay. I made, like $100. Yay. I don't know, it was worth the effort for $100, but the experiment itself was, I tried a lot of kind of different creative things, and it sort of worked. I did learn some lessons. And maybe I'll broaden my keywords, but I think next year at Christmas, it's kind of a Christmassy thing. It'll sell at Christmas next year, which will probably make it worth it this year. And then one other, I lost like $10. So, I tried. I lost $10. So, that's not terrible. But I really tried to focus and do what I said. Like I went with also bots. I thought of other things the customer would buy. I kind of thought a little outside the box. Let's see. Can you put an ace in the carrot? Yeah. Okay, that answered that. Okay, so my KDP experiments. Oh, no. So I wanted to talk about the 2 that did really well. Now, the reason those did really well is not only did I focus on advertising, but what I did is I actually created the books. It was a teen niche, so gift for teens that a mom would buy for Christmas, or like a grandma or something like that would buy for their teen girl at Christmas. And so what I did is the products in this niche, they were kind of a little risque. So now teens might want to say risque, but no mom or grandma, I would not buy my kids stuff. Like I have 2 I have 4 girls, but 2 of them are teenagers. There's no way I'd buy my kids some of this stuff in this niche. I was like, no. So I focused on stuff that would make mom and grandma happy, and then the kids really happy because it was within what they wanted, but not quite. The clothes weren't, it was a little less risque. So it was mom and grandma friendly, and those did fantastically well because that's what I focused on. I focused on selling it to that group, and they just did really, really well because I combined advertising with something that I knew in the market would be wanted. Kids would want it, but yet parents aren't willing to buy some of the things the kids, really, I don't know if they really want it, but it's kind of what's maybe fashionable or something. But moms wouldn't be willing to buy that. So those did really, really well. And so I was really happy that those did well. So KDP experiments for this year. So the first half of this year, I'm dedicating to experimentation. And I really wanted to focus on upping my marketing skills. I have decent ones, but I'm kind of, like I said, I do well sometimes and I wander, and it does take a lot of focus. It's that science part. None of us want to buckle down and do it, but I'm really going to try on these. So the first one is an outdoor theme, and I am definitely targeting it to all sorts of outdoors things. So I'm going to look, for products that I think, like maybe camping gear. I haven't really looked to see. I've looked a little bit, but I'm still working on what products I would actually target it with, like actual products versus just books. Definitely some books and keywords and all that I'll target, but I'm going to try and think outside the box a little bit and see if I can really get this selling for spring break to summer, right? That's when that sort of stuff starts to pick up. So I'm working on it now, so I have it ready to get ramp my ads up March, April timeframe. The second one I'm linking on is planning on doing it's like a boys kids niche, and then what I'm doing is I'm specifically designing this line of products with a certain type of boy in mind. Let's see. So I found these authors. They're not huge authors, but they are consistent sellers. I did really well at Christmas, but they're consistent sellers throughout the year. I found these authors and these types of groups of books that sell really well, that to not teen boys, more like tween boys, maybe 8-year-old boys, something like that. And so I'm creating a different type of book, but definitely something that customer would be interested in. So I'm going to focus my advertising on trying to get on those pages. And like I said, they sell well, but they're not competitive because it's not a name brand author, but I'm trying to get on their product page, right? So not on the drop down. I'm trying to get on these particular product pages because I think if, I really, what I want to see on mine is also bought. I want to see the kid bought this book, or, someone bought this and also bought this, because it's similar, but not the same. It's something a little bit different. So if you were going to package up a group of books for a kid, maybe they would want this type of book too. That's a little bit different, but yet similar in style or taste or something like that. So I'm going to try that and we'll see how that works. I'm going to at least start with 3 for that series. They are more middle content. It's definitely a little bit more writing, but it's no novel. We're talking 1,000 words total, maybe. So we're not talking anything that big. And so that's what I'm focusing on this year. And that, at least this first half of the year. So to Eula's question, how did I get from like 300 books? Because like I said, I do a lot more low content to mid content. I decided to do some really cool planners. So I designed 4 different planners. And then what I did is what people like for planners, at least what I think, or what I like, okay? I like patterns, okay? I like my planner to be like pattern. I don't like flowers all that much, but I like patterns. I like cute things that are interest me. So what I did is I actually, on PowerPoint, I paid somebody to create a code for me that would pull in patterns and populate it onto PowerPoint. And then all I would have to do is literally I'd design a spine and a pretty like banner and then put like 2020, annual planner. And then I just copy and paste it to every single slide. So I could make 25, 35 covers for, I use PowerPoint for my interiors, Teresa. So I found that I love PowerPoint. I'm very good at PowerPoint. I have Air Force, we call the PowerPoint Rangers. We do a lot of PowerPoint. So I'm very good at PowerPoint. I found that PowerPoint is very versatile. And the newer versions of PowerPoint, I just got 365. So I didn't do any of this with 365. I just bought 365 2 days ago. And I'm fiddling with that. But I know it has even more power than what I've been used to. But I do everything there because I'm really good at it. Now, I do paint.net to do some of my editing of pictures, because I'll change the color and do some various things. And I like paint.net because it's super simple. You could use InDesign, maybe not InDesign, I'm not sure. I know you can use Photoshop and some other programs, GIMP for it, but I find paint.net is super simple. It's like Paint, on your computer, but a little bit souped up. So it does what I need it to do. It's very simple, and I like it. And it doesn't kill my hard drive or anything. It's simple. And PowerPoint's easy to learn. So it does a lot, but it's easy to learn the basics if you're not. The great thing about PowerPoint is it's meant for people to kind of, there's hidden things in there that you might have to Google to find where they are. But most of the basics are very easy to find on PowerPoint. So don't be afraid of PowerPoint. I know people use Google Slides too because that's free, but I have a lot of experience with PowerPoint, and I think PowerPoint is better but that's possibly because I know how to use it better. Anyway, so I had somebody create a code for me to make it a whole lot faster to make my covers. And then like I said, I created these 4 or 5 interiors, and then I just put on and I put weird stuff and I found it really worked well. I did mixed niches. So Santa doing yoga or snakes, because I found some really cool snake stuff patterns and people who was putting stuff out there with snakes, not that many people. So I kind of did some niche things so that I made over 300 planners, and I think I've sold at least one of every single one. And then there were a few that I was really surprised. I thought it was cute, but it did a lot better than I thought it would. They sold 50 or 60, and so that's pretty good. But it was very easy for me to replicate, and then putting them up, right? I didn't have to put anything new. All I did was I have all my keywords the same. My subtitle was very similar. And I just put I described the cover on the subtitle. So if it was hot air balloons, I put hot air balloons and then my keywords for planner, dated, 2020 annual planner or whatever I put. I can't remember. But, I had those things. And then I had 2 blocks of those 7 I left open to describe the color of the cover, different words. So if it was about hamsters, pet, rodent, animal, brown, I don't know, kids, cage, I don't know, I wrote different things. And then the other things were all the same. The other 5 keyword slots, it was the same. So I used tangent templates and I just uploaded. And you could do quite a lot that way. And I kind of set them all down in an Excel file. So copy, paste for the unique stuff. And anyway, that's kind of how I went from 300. But I decided to be kind of nichey, and it worked pretty well. Okay, I think, let's see, what time is it? Oh, I've only got 2 or 3 minutes because I've got to go pick it's half day for my kids. So one of my kindergartner, I have to meet her bus here I have to leave in 8 minutes to meet her bus. So any last questions? No problem on the keyword tips. Hopefully it was helpful. All right. Like I said, I will, after I go pick up my daughter, I will drop in the form so you can ask the link to the form if you want to ask questions, or you can always be live and ask questions too. And some of you probably see me on Facebook too, so you can send me a question to ask or whatever. But I like to do the forms because it just keeps myself organized. And I think that's about it. We'll see what questions I get to decide for what I want to do next week. But if you have any burning desires, let me know. Otherwise, I'll come up with something on my own. Who knows what that will be. All right. Thanks so much. Signing off. Bye.